Today we are going to talk about entrepreneurship. We are going to learn that what is exactly entrepreneurship, how we will start the journey, what are the things which we have to consider, what are the advantages of entrepreneurship, what are the disadvantages of entrepreneurship, what can be the factors which can lead failure, and how to avoid the factors so as to avoid failures and to get towards the success in entrepreneurship. Now, in this particular slide, we are going to discuss about what is entrepreneurship as in definition. Entrepreneurship is the process of creating something new of value by devoting, that is, by giving the necessary time and effort, by accepting and acknowledging the necessary financial, psychological, and social risks, and finally receiving the resulting rewards, be it monetary and personal satisfaction and freedom to do what you want, as stated by Robert M. Peters, D.A. Shepherd. So these all things are very important. Why? Because we can see that the process of creating something new means innovative thing. Now innovation and invention, there is a hell of difference. Innovation is something like wherein you see the newness in the existing thing. You don't follow the traditional pattern and you come up with thinking out of the box thought process. So that actually leads to entrepreneurship. Now there's again a simple definition. It says that process of creating something new and assuming the risks and rewards means entrepreneurship. So it's always innovation is directly proportional to entrepreneurship. But what exactly is innovation means is that it's not like one has to invent things, but it is like thinking out of the box. The same traditional thing can be implemented in with a new approach, and that's the way an entrepreneurship really works. Now, he or she is an individual who actively form or lead their own business and nurture them for growth, prosperity, as discussed by UITM Entrepreneurship Study Group, and as well as a person who creates and manages change by recognition of opportunities, needs, wants, opportunities, problems, and challenges, and develops people and manages resource to take advantage of the resources to take the opportunity and create a venture that is a profitable business. So as we all know that business is all about taking calculative risk. So similarly, entrepreneurship, the entrepreneur really understands what exactly is happening in the variables in an external environment, internal environment. He really ponders over the problem which is prevalent in the market, and accordingly he comes up with alternative solution and finds out that which solution will be the best solution, and hence develops a product or a service based on it and becomes successful. Now, what are the different outcomes of engaging in entrepreneurship? Now, this is very important. Why? Because we need to understand that why to take such risk. If we work in a company, we have a fixed salary at the end of the day. And here, when we start up with our own venture, in that there can be many of the chances that returns may be delayed, like can take year or more than that, or maybe we never know that we are going to when exactly we will be getting the break even analysis and when we will get and to reach on margin of safety. So let's go through the different outcomes. Innovation or newness, product or service, organizing resources like finance, people, physical and information resource, creating new product or service, generating wealth, taking risk in a business venture, prepare to face uncertainty, create job opportunity, increase the abundance of wealth generation for the nation. Now these points are very important. Why? Because the newness will be there and every customer really wants a change in his or her life. So that newness will come all because of entrepreneurship. Now the finance, people, physical and information resource, which we can say that factors of production can be really organized effectively, and by all these things new product and new service will be created. Of course it is a source of generation of wealth, and when we are working as an intrapreneur, like we are working in a company, then that happens is that the risk factor is really less, like because they are not ready to take much of risk. But when it is your own venture and if you feel that you are going to fetch good returns out of it, then you can take your own call and you can start up with that particular concept. Of course, when entrepreneur thinks about developing a new product or service, then he is ready to face uncertainty. And as we know that in economy there are no much of jobs, if we talk about PSU, if you talk about governmental sector. So of course this is a blessing, like if no new startups, more entrepreneurs will be coming up with their new ideas, innovative ideas. In that particular case, more job opportunities will be created and youth will get opportunity to do jobs, increase the abundance of wealth generation for the nation, and of course national income also goes up as the person is able to generate more wealth for the nation. Now, characteristics or personal competency of an entrepreneur: initiative, he has to see and act as opportunities on opportunities. Persistence is very important thing. Information seeking, the person should be concern for high quality work and output, increase productivity. There should be proper commitment to work contract, like if you have taken, you should really follow the deadline and the client should be getting the product or service on time. Then efficiency orientation should be there. Systematic and organized planning should be there. They say that if you plan to fail means you fail to plan. So there should be an effective planning, and implementation should be also at par with the same. Problem solving skills should be there. Self confidence is highly necessary. Assertiveness, negotiation with the suppliers and customers. It's not that directly saying no, but yeah, of course, wherein you understand that this should be the criteria. So we should really follow that, and we should be assertive enough to take a call upon the same thing. Persuasive and influential towards the peers and stakeholders, like how exactly the stakeholders will have faith on you if you are really persuasive and influential. People can really look upon you, can have confidence in you. That's very important. To be inspirational, employees should get completely motivated the moment that entrepreneur is all around, and if he is coming up with any kind of vision, they should be really happy to work as a team with that entrepreneur. He should be an effective communicator, whether it's an external or internal communication. Now, economic growth, entrepreneurship has got a very important role to play. In order for entrepreneurs to thrive in a nation, the government must play important role in creating the kind of business environment that create the business for growth, stability, and future success of entrepreneurs. The primarily it involves increasing the per capita output income of the people of the country, as it creates a lot of job opportunity, initiating and creating change in the structure of business and society, and further growth and increased output arises, thus to enable more wealth to be divided among the various participants, that is the stakeholders. Generation of innovation that leads to the creation of new product and service, improvisation and modification on existing product to better suit market and customers needs, creation of self-employment and to cut back the dependency of potential employment of new workers in government sectors. It streamlines the private sector and encourages the inclusion of new technology that is less labor dependent. It leads to increase in the national output, which is in turn lead to greater and stronger economic growth, laying the seedbed for creating new entrepreneur in various new technologies such as biotechnology, medicine, nanotechnology, new material technology, etc. Then acting as a catalyst to nurture intrapreneurs and corporate entrepreneurs in a business organization, because the intrapreneur also gets influenced by the entrepreneurs and the way they are taking initiative. Providing government grant and subsidy to existing would be entrepreneurs to aid their business development. Providing entrepreneurs, that these things are very important from the government end. That they should really provide base to the entrepreneurs. SMEs, various types of business loans to act as an impetus for business and economic growth in the nation. And of course, to facilitate this various business developments of entrepreneurs by commercial banks, SME Bank, Bank Botanian, Malaysian, Exim Bank, Bank Pemagon and Barad provide the support. Then government decision to engage both would be Bhumiputra and non-Bhumiputra in various entrepreneurship development schemes, providing knowledge and information through seminars, conferences, exhibitions, various business, small business, entrepreneurial business e-portals, providing of various financial information resources, support from various government agencies and national corporations such as MDC, MARDI, FAMA, RISDA, FELDA, Martrade, Telecoms, Malaysia, TNB, AS, etc. Now, what is the process? The process of pursuing, going after a new venture or business is known as entrepreneurial process. Whether it is a new product going into an existing market or existing product going into a new market. So it can be either way. The creation of a totally new organization. So it will not at all be like the traditional pattern as the way it used to be. First, the process is creation process, creating something new of value. Then second is requires the commitment of necessary time and effort, appreciate and understand the importance of time and effort devoted to create something new and make it workable. Third is it involves the enjoyment of the rewards, freedom, monetary after the effort followed by personal satisfaction. Then the fourth distinct process is identification and evaluation of the opportunity, development of the business plan, determination of the required resources, management of the resulting enterprise. Now, there are many benefits of entrepreneurship. Opportunity to create your own destiny. Reason being is that you can really have your own call, and if you really believe into your thought process, your research, so you can really develop a new product without any hindrance. Owning a business provides an entrepreneurs the independence and the opportunity to achieve what is important to them. Entrepreneurs want to decide what they want in their lives and they use their businesses to make their desired reality, which comes true ultimately. Now, benefits of entrepreneurship again is like opportunity to make a difference. Now, you can really be, you can have a competitive advantage in the market because you are thinking something out of the box which other person have not thought about. Opportunity to reach your full potential. Many people find their work not challenging and not exciting because it becomes really monotonous doing the same task over and on. For entrepreneurs, there is very little difference between work and play. Why? Because they enjoy their work, so it becomes a play for them, and that's the reason a number of creativity cycles are created during their venture. Entrepreneurs see their business as a vehicle as of a self-expression of personal desire and eventual self-actualization of their personal goals, the pinnacle of their career success. Everybody, those who get into any kind of job, they have a certain dreams, but then unfortunately in long run they find it out is that they have to really live others dream as stated by Dhirubhai Ambani, that you start living your own dream or else others will start living their dreams in you. So if we become entrepreneur we can really live our dreams as per our process. Now, opportunity to reap extra profits. The profit earned by an entrepreneur are an important motivation and indication factor for further increased performance. And thus, these could spur them to greater achievement and success. Why? Because they are getting in, the return and they are the one who are going to have the major share out of it. So they get really motivated. And then social responsibility and recognition is there. Reason being is that small business owners are among the most admired, respected, and trusted individuals of society. Customers have shown their trust and faithfulness over their years for their business, and it helps to contribute employment, business opportunity in a particular locality or area, which is the biggest contribution. Why? Because in today's world, everybody is has got a degree. I'll not say educated, and everybody is really into competition, which is a cutthroat competition to get a job. And in this kind of scenario, we come up with our own startups and we provide jobs. So it is boon to the society and it is a blessing. And of course, these all things are recognized down the. Then it gives an opportunity to engage in work of their choice, because as right from beginning we are discussing that they'll not be suppressed, they can take up their own call, they can have their own creativity, they can implement the things which they really feel that will be working in market, which will enhance their market share. So small business owners tend to engage in businesses that gives them personal satisfaction, though they may work long hours and engage in very industrious work that is beneficial to their organization and themselves, but still they will enjoy the work because it's more of a play for them. Most of all, work they engage in helps to benefit the community, society, and the nation. Of course, every coin has got two sides, so we are going to discuss about the drawbacks of entrepreneurship. Yeah, the in beginning itself, I have stated you there is an uncertainty of income. So when we open or run a business, it provides no guarantee that an entrepreneur will earn enough money and survive. Engaging in the wrong business and not able gain an advantage in the short run and eventually in the long run can be disastrous. Great effort and proper effective management need to be used in beginning to ensure the organization's success. So, risk of losing your entire investment. Small businesses have a high failure rate. Though it's successful initially, it faces financial difficulty within the next 5 years. Entrepreneurs must be prepared to face the consequence of failure. Entrepreneurs must have acute sense of observation, be able to detect the earlier signs of failure. So it's very important to keep a track on the balance sheet. And if a business fails, the entrepreneur must have a contingency plan to overcome a bankruptcy or personal failure. That's very important. And long hours and hard work, yes, of course, it's a playful thing, but still, like entrepreneurs tend to be generally workaholic and under tremendous pressure to produce the result they expect. Entrepreneurs seldom find time to be away from the business, but tend to pour all their effort and resources to achieve their personal entrepreneurial objective. Some even go to extent of making big sacrifice and deprive themselves of personal life, wife and children and social and family associates, means no work-life balance, which is very threatening. And whatever we do, actually we do for our people who are very close to us, our beloved and our family. But in this kind of scenario wherein we are like newly budding, or I'll not say newly budding, when entrepreneurship really takes toll, we are not able to maintain the work life balance initially, at least. And then lower quality of life until the business gets established. Same point. In order to for the business to be successful, the entrepreneur must engage himself to produce the kind of result he expects. He cannot rest on his laurels until he is certain that the business has stabilized and established. High level of stress is there. Starting the business can be very rewarding experience, but it can be stressful. An entrepreneur have left the comfort and security of secure job to venture into their own business. Failure can bring about tremendous personal failure and in turn creates intense levels of anxiety and stress. Financial burden may increase. The entrepreneur may face difficulty sustaining the business or may decide to call it for a day and wind up the business for good. It will be really sad, but then it's okay. If we really understand the problem and consequences, perseverance can really fetch a lot of benefit and we can really work upon our stress level. And complete responsibilities on the person himself, so must be prepared to make decisions that are unfavorable, swallow the bitter pill, must make decision in area that the entrepreneur is not familiar at all, fear of making decision that can have a devastating effect on the business and its people, tremendous pressure to perform as the entrepreneur is too deeply engaged in the business. Discouragement. To undertake a business requires a lot of dedication, discipline, and tenacity. And during running the business, they will face many difficulties, obstacles, which may difficult to overcome. Further difficulties, discouragement, and disillusionment are common emotions. Successful entrepreneurs escape through rough times or difficult times through sheer hard work, self-confidence, and full of optimism. Now, these are some mistakes which we are going to discuss about, so that the entrepreneur should really stay away from these mistakes. First is management mistakes, lack of experience, poor financial control, weak marketing efforts, failure to develop a strategic and effective plan, uncontrolled growth, poor location, improper inventory control, incorrect or unsuitable pricing, the inability of to move into entrepreneurial thinking mindset from the previous secured permanent managerial position held. So if there is a shift from intrapreneurial thought process to entrepreneurial thought process, the person has to really go through a long process. I mean, he has to really eliminate that intrapreneurial thing which he had when he was working in his company earlier, and when now he is an entrepreneur, he is working in his own company. So he should really get rid of that gray shade, otherwise there will be a problem. Now we are going to discuss about how to avoid failure in entrepreneurial business. So we should know the business in depth, develop a good, effective, solid business plan, manage your financial resources effectively, have a thorough and complete financial statement, and learn higher and manage people effectively. That's very important. Keep physically fit, consume healthy foods, and avoid addictive consumption, cigarettes and alcohol. Because if you're healthy, you can think healthy, you can perform in a nice manner, and your entrepreneurial skill will be there with people, with society, and you will do really great in your business. So I would like to wish all of you best of luck. Please follow the things which have been suggested and guided, and I'm sure you're going to have a great venture. Thank you.